For our next feature, I'm going to bring in some extra data to really explain why we did it rather than what it is. So this data is from the Big SCOM survey, which is our SCOMathon annual survey to figure out how you guys out there who are using SCOM actually are monitoring your IT landscapes. And we ask you, among other things, what other tools do you use for monitoring, in addition, obviously, to SCOM? And you'll see consistently year on year, there are some key themes, some key things that come out. And some of these tools, so for example, Azure Monitor, Splunk and Elasticsearch, which is part of the ELK stack, we already have integrations for. But there's some key ones that we don't. And we're looking to help address that in this release. And so the next feature I'm very happy to introduce is a native SolarWinds integration to Dashboard Server. So this is great because clearly it's out there, it's highly adopted and highly used. It supports almost all of the visualizations that Dashboard Server is capable of, certainly all the ones we could easily hook up. And it will take SolarWinds query language to drive. So a really exciting feature and should mean that Dashboard Server can be more useful as your single pane of glass for all of your observability tooling. So it's in here with all the rest of our integrations, as is Prometheus, which I'll come on to next. And it's really quite simple to set up. It's a case of providing instance name, URL, username and password. You also have the option to ignore invalid SSL certs. While obviously it's best practice to make sure SSL certs are valid, there's also reality. And we know that the vast majority of customers, well, maybe not the vast majority, a number of customers haven't got that case to be true. The same is true for Prometheus. We're setting up Prometheus, instance name, URL, username and password, and the similar ability to ignore invalid SSL certs. So really, really simple to get set up. So going back to my SolarWinds dashboard here, I'll pop this one in edit mode, and let's have a look at one of these guys here. When you're scoping, you'll start off by going back here to the main list of tiles. It's hidden here under integrations. You click into integrations, and then you'll see SolarWinds, which is obviously one of our integrations, to see the list of possible tiles that you can use with the SolarWinds data source. Now, the most important thing here is selecting the provider, which is pre-set up, and then having your SolarWinds query language here. So in this case, I've mapped up-down status from Prometheus to the block states effectively with SolarWinds. All of that is done through the UI. And it varies slightly visualization on visualization, but you get the gist. It's all entirely driven by SolarWinds query language. And that's true regardless of which of these I click on. There's a few more examples down here. CPU as another example, all SolarWinds driven. The most important piece here is we've parameterized the time component. So there we are. And that's really all there is to see for SolarWinds. So really the sky's the limit with what you can create and dashboard from SolarWinds.